host. Okay, all right. So see, first of all, let's run this, and we are going to deal with another classifier, logistic regression. Okay, like it's a classification algorithm. Just the name is confusing. Debates are always going on, like why it's regression. Okay, why the name regression has given, but Deci- decision tree can do both classification and regression also. Okay, so some algorithms can do both, some can do only one thing. So hmm, this is logistic regression. How to call this? Again, it's a very simple, just like this. Okay, just like this, same method. From sklearn dot something, import logistic regression. Then you just need to define the class. Okay, we have defined descent classifier and we have stored this in the dt class. Here you don't need to store it in any variable. Okay, it's not a good practice. Just do dt dot fit. Here you don't need to write dt equals to. Okay, it will do it by itself. Just the class and dt dot fit for training. Okay, in the dt dot predict we predicted and then stored this to compare y test and y prediction. Okay, here y test and y prediction 81% was right. Okay, logistic regression. So as I answered yesterday that you need to apply many algorithms to find out which algorithm performed better, and if one algorithm is performing better in this project, that doesn't mean it's going to perform better in the next one. Okay, so how to call logistic regression? Again, you can see the documentation from, but I have remembered, right, from sklearn dot linear model. It's a linear, I think. Import what are the models present? I think logistic, no, logistic logistic regression. Yeah, it's present. It's linear regression. It's a regression algorithm. Okay, but this logistic regression is a classification algorithm. And okay, and let's LR regression. LR, I'm just giving name. You can give any name. Regression. Just defining this class. Okay. Here how we can define. So here you go. See, simple. Okay, again simple. See, there are lots of by default. Okay, penalties L2. There is something called penalty and all. You can read about it. Okay, like these are the parameters. You can tune this parameter. Okay, maximum iteration 100. You can just tune these parameters, means you can just play with these parameters and then observe that if you're training with these parameters, what is your accuracy? If you are changing the parameters, if max iteration is 1000, what is your then accuracy? That is called hyper tuning or hyper tuning optimization or model optimization, optimizing. Okay, so what is logistic regression? It's simple, it's pretty simple. That I told you descent tree yesterday. So like it's a tree kind of. Logistic regression is pretty simple. That it's like this. Okay. If it's see, it's like a 0 and 1 class. Okay. Binary classification happens. Binary. Okay. 0 and 1. Okay. So if it's a cat, then like if the class 0 is cat. Okay. And if the classifier thinks that I'm like it needs to pass this. Okay, if you have given any image, let's say a cat image, if your model thinks, if your model predicts that it is a cat and the probability is 0.5, greater than 0.5, see the graph. Okay, greater than 0.5, then your answer is yes, it's a cat. Okay, and if it's less than 0.5, so it's not gonna pass. Okay, simple. It's a probability. So probably if you have heart disease and the probability is greater than 50% or 0.5, okay, 0.5 or 50%, means model is saying, this logistic regression is saying, okay, that I am more than 50% sure or 50% sure that you have heart disease. Then it will show you have heart disease. That's all. Okay, otherwise if it is less than 50%, 0.5, then you don't have heart disease. It's simple, binary classification, 0 or 1. Either you have or either you don't have. Okay, is everything clear? Anyone have a doubt? Is everything clear? Just let me know. Linear regression is different. It's a regression project. Okay, it's a regression algorithm. This is classification algorithm. Okay, as I said, just the name is confusing. Linear and logistic regression. Just the name is confusing of logistic regression, but it's a classification. Okay, so clear? Everyone clear? Write in the chat. You can see the maths behind it, right? But as I don't have much time, okay, we don't have much time, so that's why just a theory. Otherwise, I really wanted to go the mathematics behind it, but all right. So it's like this dot, so it's going to separate. So here you go, logistic regression, and let me. Okay. Logistic regression. So you've called now LR.fit. You don't need to do LR is equals to LR.fit. Okay, it's not a good practice. By the time you will get it, LR and the logistic regression. What are you have? You have many things like predict, and first of all you need to fit, of course. So fit and what you need to fit? X train and Y train. Okay, X train. This X train the features with its labels. Okay, what is X train? Oops, I think we did something wrong yesterday. We did something wrong yesterday. We did one thing wrong, guys. One thing, I'm so sorry. That we converted this into standard scalar, right? And we stored this into X train STD. Okay, why we converted into standard scalar? Can anybody tell me? Like, if anyone just just try to recall why we converted into this standard scalar way. Can anybody tell me? No answer. Okay. See, see, I told you now, like this in X train or in X trace basically. See the difference between number 0, 1, 311. Okay, so training of the model is not easy right now. Okay, so it's like we need to scale down into a particular level. Okay, we need to scale down in a particular level so that model can converge easily. Otherwise, see the difference: 0, 140, 254, 311, right? So distance between numbers is very huge. So we just scale down the values, not their data. Data will be same, the data they possess, but we just gonna scale down their values. So after applying standard scalar, see in the X train, we stored this in X train STD. So see, it was like something 244, 311. See their scale down values. Similarly for X test STD. Okay, so that we can perform better. It can converse better. But yesterday what we did, we trained X train itself, not X train STD. Okay, yeah, we don't need to perform standard scalar in Y train and Y test. Okay, we don't need to. But we trained in X train, means in the big data itself. Okay, I did wrong, but there is a thing. I told you yesterday only that in some algorithm like decision tree, what does decision tree do? What does decision tree do? Okay, what does decision tree do? Is it just perform trees? Like it does make the trees, right? It just make the trees. So you don't need to do standard scalar for decision tree. It's completely all right if your numbers are very huge and you are not doing standard scalar for this. Okay, because decision tree is just gonna make the trees. Okay, like this, age is this, that's all. Okay, nothing much. But for logistic regression, see, you need to go with the distance, right? You need to compute the distance between this threshold value and all. Okay, so you need to compute the distance. So to compute the distance, if one is, let's say, 0 and one is 311, so it's very huge, right? So that's why we need to scale down them in a particular level so that we can compute the distance very easily. Their data will not change, just the values will get smaller, okay, in a particular level. Okay, that's why in some algorithms like decision tree, we don't have, or random forest, we don't have to do standard scalar. But for logistic regression, linear regression, or support vector machine, neural networks, we have to do standard scalar. So here, instead of writing xtrain std like we did on decision tree, that we directly performed in the bigger scale, here we need to write xtrain std, and we are training with their its particular level labels. What was xtrain? What was xtrain? Xtrain was this, right? The huge numbers, and xtrain std was the standard scaled one. These smaller numbers between 1, -2, 0 in a particular range. Okay, that's all. And ytrain was its labels, right? So there you go. So now we are training the scaled one xtrain with its labels. Okay, and then we're gonna predict in the scaled one test data with its label. We're gonna compare like we did yesterday. Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear? Any doubt? Is everyone clear? Just let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and in the chat, just one written yes. Yeah, right, right. So in some algorithms we don't have to. Okay, but in some, like even in neural networks, we have to. Otherwise, our model will not converge. Okay, I don't think anyone is having now. So now LR.fit training has been done in a very simple way. Training has been done. Okay, see LR.fit, the fit will do the training. Okay, now let's predict LR.predict LR.predict on the test data. Okay, not in X test. Why? Why? Can you tell me why? Can anyone tell me? Like if we have done the training in the scaled one, okay, why we don't, why we should not perform our testing in the unscaled data? Like see the distance, okay, 0, 217, 258, 564 with 0, with other things. Why we should not predict? If we have done our training here, why we should not predict on, like we can just predict now, we can predict on the unscaled data, but why it's a bad practice? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me?
I think that if we predict in the means this X test data, then
Hmm.
the model can predict long.
You can say it's okay. So if you perform your training data like in the scaled one, you should uh, okay, you should test it on the scaled data only. So we are going to predict on extra standard one. Okay, their data have not changed, just the values are have been changed. Okay, so LR X test standard. Okay, so see, this is the first one. So first one is saying 0, and see means you can say this one. Okay, and if you compare with the actual one y test, first one is 0. Okay, this 3 is 1 1 1, this 3 is 1 1 with the actual, this is the actual one, right? And this is the predicted one. Okay, and this is the actual. We are comparing the prediction one with the actual data, so that we can know now, like how well our model has performed better. Okay, now then again 0. Okay, like this. So a logistic regression model has also performed better. Now let's check the percentage, right? How much percentage? Now decision tree has performed like 81% correctly, means 81%. Yeah. Okay, so it's like if we compare Y prediction with the Y test, 81% you will find that it has predicted. It has if you compare the predicted one with the actual data, 81% will be match. Let's store them into Y predict same itself. Okay, Y predict or LR. Okay, let's keep it different. Y predict LR. Okay, so Y prediction of logistic regression. I'm storing here only. Okay, Y predict LR. Okay, this one. Now let's compare using accuracy score we imported earlier. How to compare accuracy score with like Y true, the actual data with the prediction one. Okay, actual data Y test with the prediction one. Y pred is for decision tree. Okay, this is for we named another variable for LR. 85%. Which model performed better? Let me know now. Which model performed better? It's like the same. Okay. So this model has performed better for this particular project. That doesn't mean that this model is better than decision tree. Okay, it's just like it's depend on many things. Okay, like the factors and all. It might happen if we try another project, logistic regression will fail. Okay, it might happen. So always, like many people ask me now, which algorithm should I apply? I don't know. Just try in the experiment. Okay, because for every project, every algorithm performs different. Okay, so accuracy score is 85%. One last thing, one last algorithm. Everything clear? Is everyone clear? Just let me know. Not for classification, basically. I just need that data. And write in the chat. Is everyone clear? ML algorithms. I just need. Yeah. So we saw decision tree. We saw logistic regression for classification. Okay. Let's see KNN. One of my favorite. K nearest neighbor. There is a thing like random forest. See, decision tree has overfitting problem. Like I should not say right now what is overfitting, what is underfitting. Like I can say, but something is for you, like to find out what is underfitting, what is overfitting. Okay, so decision tree has some problems. It is overcome by random forest. Okay, what is that problem? You search KNN. Next algorithm, it can also do classification and regression also. Okay, K nearest neighbor. Now what is K nearest neighbor? KNN. Oops, KNN algorithm. It's again super simple algorithm. Okay, if you give a data point, this is better. If you give a data to KNN to predict that this data or this point, like see, how should I say? This is of class 1 or 2. Like see, class 1, class 2. Okay, so this green circle belongs to whom? This red one or this blue one? Okay, so based on these patterns, your KNN will compute the distance first of all. Okay, based on the patterns. So if if in the, like you say, this is the k region 1, okay, k region 3, it's like this, okay. So if it's like if you give k is equals to 3, okay, k is equals to 3, so 3 nearest neighbor it will search, okay, 3 nearest neighbor, 1 2 3, this is a 3 nearest neighbor, right? This one, this one, this one. So in which of them is, like, which is in the majority? This red triangle, okay. So this green color of circle belongs to this class, okay. Similarly, if you give k is equals to 5, let's say, it's always better to give odd number, like they say. I don't know, like the actual thing, but it's always better to give odd number of k. So k is equals to 5. So what is the 5 nearest neighbor of this green circle? 1 2 3, 1 2 3. This can be the fourth, okay, or this can be the 5, okay. So 1 2 3 4 5, which is in the majority? This red triangle again. So this circle belongs to this class, okay. Similarly, if I give another example, this star belongs to which class? If you give k equals to, never give k equals to 1, okay, it's like bad thing, like only one neighbor it will search. K equals to 3, if you give k equals to 3, so this red, the 3 nearest neighbor is this, which is in the majority, this purple, okay. So this red star belongs to this purple class, class B, okay. If you give k equals to 5, let's say 1 2 3 4 5, okay. So now which is in majority? This blue, sorry, this yellow circle. So this red star belongs to this yellow circle, okay. It's that simple. Now how to decide what should be the k number? K is equals to 3 5 7 9 11 100 1000, like we will see that. But is KNN clear? KNN clear, everyone? Yeah, no doubt. Right, everyone? No doubts. Okay, 2 yes only I got. So let's try KNN, okay. Let's try KNN, K nearest neighbor. And again, just a 2-3 lines of code. Again, from sklearn dot, from where we can import KNN. You can check the documentation. Again, how to, Google is your best friend, how to import KNN in Python or anywhere, like using scikit-learn, because it's a machine learning library. So you will find the documentation. This is not the official documentation, okay. This is data camp, something like website. Um, From sklearn.neighbors, import KNN classifier, okay. Now sklearn.neighbors, this is neural networks, you can even perform. Neighbors, sometimes you will see two neighbors, two neural network, don't get confused, okay. It's just like something bugs. Import what? See, k neighbors classifier regressor. So both you can do, okay. It can perform both. So KNN is equals to k nearest classifier, and we have defined the class. Now KNN dot fit to train. One question: can I apply here X train directly, that unscaled data, okay, with Y train, or do I need to apply standard one, the scaled one? Just let me know. How do we decide or choose value of for k? I will tell you. Okay. Can you tell me, should I go for scaled one like XTrain STD, or just like decision tree, can I just apply without the unscaled data? Like I just told you in KNN what we do. Just think. In KNN what we do. Scaled one. Why, Ramakrishna? Scaled one. Why? Like see, just we do in KNN the 3 nearest neighbor or the 5 nearest one. So for to compute the nearest one, what we need to do, we need to find the distance. So I think without scaled, no. Why? Because see in decision tree we are not here finding any distance. Okay, it's just like yes or no. But in KNN, just like logistic regression, we need to find a distance. Okay, like 3 nearest neighbor. So yeah, we need to find a distance. Okay, if one is 0 and one is 500 here, and if actual one 500 is right, but according to the distance 0 is very nearer, na, so it will say that I belong to 0th class. Okay, that's why we need to perform scaled one. Okay, so that's why we need to scale down data, because here distance are very important. Okay, so every data should be in a particular scale. So clear. Action STD with Y train, the labels here, the training has been completed. Now what is the by default value of k? K means neighbors, k means neighbors, and neighbors is equals to 5. By default it is 5. Okay, now you can change it, like you can change directly from here. Okay, manually you can perform like beta, give me some time. XY to do. Okay, manually you can perform. Okay, like the parameters you have given, n inverse equals to 5. Okay, now you can change it. Okay, as I told you, these are the parameters by default. Okay, leaf size or this, and then the metric. Okay, so there are total 2 to 3 metric of k neighbors. Okay, use a search, like if you go further here, you can just change it to 7 to 9 and experiment and learn, experiment and observe which neighbor is giving you best result. If it is giving you in 1, then you are doing something wrong. Apart from 1, okay, in 3, in 5, in 7, in 9, in 100. Now every time you don't want to do and train it manually, right? So I told you there is a thing called hyperparameter tuning. Okay, hyper parameter, sorry for spelling mistake, tuning, or we say it or what we say, hyper or this model optimization. Okay, so always search how to do model optimization using sklearn. Google is your best friend. Okay, is an of KNN, let's say KNN. Okay, so you will get it, k nearest neighbor index optimization. Here you will see that how to do automatically, like how to let's say, of course you don't want to change the parameters and run these cells manually. Okay, it will be very tired task. So there is a automatic term called hyperparameter tuning called grid search CV or random search CV. Okay. Mm. Mm. See, for I in range, or you can apply for loop also for the k, but for other parameters you need to do you need to apply some like libraries for optimization. So by default, it is n is equals to 5, k is equals to 5 basically, and the training has been done. Now test it. Any question? Okay, test it. K nn dot k nn dot predict on scaled test data std. Okay, and let me store this y pred knn is equals to, okay, y pred knn, and see, and the actual one, this is the predicted, this is the actual one. Okay, 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 0. Okay, it's like top 5 is correct. Now let's just compute like the percentage, how much percentage after all in total, 91. Okay, or whatever the shape is. So accuracy score, the comparison of this y pred knn with oops, sorry, y true y test, or you can write anywhere, like it doesn't matter much. 85% same, 0.8571. Here we got 0.81. Am I doing something wrong? Like 0.85714289. Okay. Only no. Am I doing something wrong? Y test and Y pred knn. Why the accuracy score is same like the logistic regression? Can anybody tell me what I'm doing wrong here? LR.fit. Predict on a y test and accuracy score y test y pred LR. Okay, I'm testing the score of logistic regression itself here. Okay, LR.predict. It's not dot predictor. Then I applied k. Okay, let me apply for the 7. Okay, yeah, see, for the 7 accuracy has been changed 0.87 now. Okay, for the 9, but you don't want to do it this manually, right? See, for the 9 it's 0.84, so you don't want to do this manually, right? So what you do, there are many parameters, many parameters. Okay, like so there is a thing called hyperparameter optimization. Coding is there, like using random search CV or grid search CV. There are two methods. So when you go for little advanced, you will understand. But we will just deal with one parameter. Okay, let's tune just one parameter, this and neighbors. Okay, using for loop we can do, using for loop. Okay, like for let it go to have this for I in range of let's say range of k is equals to 1. Never it's better. It's like k is equals to 1. It's not, and till 50, let's say. Okay, till 50, n neighbors is equals to I, or let's give it name k. Okay, for better, for k in range this. So what it's gonna do, it's gonna change the value from 1 to 50. It's gonna run for the loop. Okay, it's gonna train for the loop, like in the loop. Okay, every time k will be from 1 to 50. Okay, in the loop means first it will train for 1, k is equals to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 till 50, and then we're gonna compare. Okay, so let me do this, like let me put it here. Okay, and let me check the score here. I put k, and then I don't need this. I don't need the oops. Empty it and delete itself. accuracy score, it will always print. Print accuracy score. Let's see for k is equals to 1 first. Okay, it will train, then it will predict on the X test standard one. It will store this in the ypred knn, then it will compare the actual one with the predicted one. Okay, then again this k will become 2. Okay, so k is gonna be 2, so whenever it's gonna be 2, then again it's gonna do training, then prediction, and then comparison, then 3, then it's same till 50. So see, for the k is equals to 1, it's 0.79. For the k is equals to 2, it's 0.82. For the k is equals to 3, 0.83. Okay, so that's how you can play with this parameter. Which is the best one? Which is the best one? Print accuracy score. Let me. Till here, everybody understood? Just let me know. Just 10 minutes is classification, and we're gonna deal with regression then. Everyone understood till there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody left? Like, write everyone. Just write in the chat. Everyone understood till here, like how we are dealing with parameter? Yes, sir. Okay. One understood. Okay. Okay. All right. Good. So what I'm doing is right now I'm just gonna copy this. I'm just gonna paste it here. Do I have any function to short it? Short in ascending order. Zero dimension, or I don't know. It's the first one. It is showing, I think, 0.8. Okay, let me do one thing. That gonna cut it. I'm just gonna scores. Okay, scores is equals to, I'm going to store it here, and then I'm gonna print it so that it has stored in the scores itself. And now all the scores has been stored here. And now if I just do short with short, no, nothing is applied. Is out of bond or short. No, I'm having such problems. Scores dot short. Oops. So I'm doing the sheet or pd dot. Do I need to just give me 1 minute, guys? Just give me 1 minute now. Score dot short, and just give me 1 minute. Score is not a score, so it's score. Sorry, scores is not different. Scores dot short and virtual attribute not implemented. No attribute there. So strange. Okay, all right. I'm just trying to sort it in the ascending order. I think how to do it. Scores dot, or I think I need import.
Sir, you can try list.
We can try list or pd dot data frame scores. Oh, that is not properly called data frame index or the columns. I think I need to give columns name. Scores. हे भगवान, दुनिया भर के सारे प्रॉब्लम। Columns is not defined. It's like columns is equals to. It's the columns is equals to. In the dictionary itself. Leave it. Let's try to be. So many times I forget some simple things. Scores is equals to or list. Let's try in the list. Yes. List of scores. That is not iterable. Okay. Like so strange right now. We can do one thing here. Scores list of scores is this, and after printing after scores list dot append scores. So basically I'm storing all the scores here, okay, and then I'm appending in the scores list, okay, in the scores list dot append, I'm appending the scores in this scores list, this empty list. So now it's good. Now we have done scores list. Now there is a list of scores, and now we can sort it. Yes. The sort sort key list sort in list Python. Let me check the sort. Here's to sorry, I'm not able to get right now a simple thing. Sorry for this. Leave that. Like sorting in ascending order in Python. Python list sort again, same 1 2 3 4 list dot sort. No, it's not working, and I forgot. Sorry. I was trying to sort a simple thing, and I'm not able to do it right now. Numbers dot sort. Okay. Now if I try to do scores list, yeah, it has been done. It's done. Yeah, it's done. All right. 84. Is it? Yeah. Okay. First it was like this. Okay. Sorry for little this. First it was like this. Okay. We did it for like 1 to 50. We trained, we predicted, and we checked the accuracy score, and then we appended in this empty list. So everything is now in the list. Okay, scores list. Now what we did, we just applied the sort function without you don't need to store this in the variable. Okay, score list again. I just checked, I checked like they have not stored. Okay, so directly you can apply sort function, and then I printed scores list, and now it has been sort 0.7912. Why am I doing this here? But why I was even sorting? I made a project earlier. I just want to copy paste something. Okay. Why I was even shorting? I just append, okay. But the thing is scores. Why I was even shorting this stuff? Scores is equals to dictionary and scores. Dict, dict and scores dict dictionary k scores to. Just guys, give me 1 minute now. Just give me 1 minute, okay. I'm modifying something more. Accuracy score. Oops. No, it's okay, because I realized why I was even making the prediction, like why I was even shorting stuffs. Okay, so I'm sorry why I was even shorting, I don't know. So okay, so after training and prediction, what I just did, I introduced another. This is dictionary, empty dictionary, score dictionary. Why I did it? See, we saw this, right? Okay, for k equals to 1 this, for k equals to 2 this, for k equals to 3 this, okay. But let's say we got this one 0.87 highest. Now you just can't count the rows, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Sometimes it will be wrong, right? So we don't know like case for what is the row number, right? If it's a millions of k. So what I just did, I just introduced a dictionary. Okay, in dictionary it's like always key and pair value. So it goes dictionary k is equals to, k means that k is equals to accuracy, and I stored the accuracy score of this again, y test and y pred knn. So after I called it scores dictionary, so you can see 1 2 3 4, this is the value of keys, okay. So now you can check, okay. Now there is one more problem, like you can't even, like, it's very difficult to check line by line, line by line, line by line. So let's just plot it. Now let's just plot it. Plotting is very easy using matplotlib. Okay, let's plot it. Plt dot plot the line graph. Okay, we are making line graph plot. What should I write? K range, which is score list. Should I go for scores list? Okay, so key range, should I need to define? Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, let's define key range. For key in, just do one more modification. Just define this key range. Okay, like for key in, just do store this range in a particular variable known as key range. Okay, for key in, just write range 1 to 50. So for k in this k range, okay, for this k in k range, okay, for this, for k in k range, okay, this range, we are training and testing, and then I'm storing this accuracy score in the scores, okay, and later on I am appending this in the list. List has a use in plotting, and to see the dictionary number, sorry, the k number in the dictionary format, we use this dict. Okay, so now see the plot. The two things we require: the k range, that range of k with scores list. We can't plot dictionary. Okay, we can't plot dictionary. So list. Oh, I need to run that cell again. Sorry. There you go. Okay. So here you go. Now to directly see, we can directly see. Okay, this is the highest peak. Okay, almost 0.87. And what is the k value? Again, it's little like in Seaborn. I think in Seaborn it will show better. I hope. Okay, in Seaborn or in Plotly, of course, the Plotly always shows better. But we can guess, right? K is equals to 7, I think. Okay, K is equals to 7 is the best parameter right now in for this particular project. So now we can go ahead, or like we can just directly again we can train it. Okay, for we can again we can write here. Okay, like we can write here. Where's that line which I imported? Yeah, we can write here 7. Okay, we can write here 7, but we don't need to as we have just trained. So that's all. Sorry, it was little confusing. I was confused myself. Okay, but okay. So this was all about KNN. We have done 3 machine learning algorithms. It was little complex because I just tried to tune with a parameter, okay, of the training, this K parameter. Okay, others we can directly do K equals to KNN, K nearest classifier, then brackets, then KNN dot fit. But I just did some little complex thing, so that's why it is little complex. So then we did for a range, we trained it, we did prediction, and then we check the accuracy score. We append it in this list to plot, and we append it in this. We store this in the dictionary. Okay. In dictionary, append function doesn't work. Okay, it only works in the list. So we store this using is equals to, so that we can see the dictionary is. So we can see that row number, that is K number. And to plot, we use this scores list with the K range. Is it clear? Even little bit? Is it clear? Even little bit? Thank God it is clear. Is it clear now? Okay, right everyone? 3 years I got. Three years only I got. Okay, 4. Okay, then let's go for the last project of our workshop, last algorithm. That is not heart disease, and salary prediction. Salary prediction means the time-wise situation, and the regression project starts here. Regression. So I told you I will try to teach 4 to 5 ML algorithms. So 3 has been taught: decision tree, logistic regression, KNN. Let's go for the 4th and the last one, that is linear regression. For regression, you can apply logistic. Logistic is just for classification. You can apply KNN also. KNN is for classification and regression both. You can go for decision tree, classification, regression both. You can go linear regression for fully regression. You can go with random forest, classification, regression both. Okay. So in machine learning, we dealt with classification regression because time allowed us to deal with only supervised learning. Unsupervised, you can go for like, any, as I said, only the first class was very important, the introduction one. Then this is all you can see from YouTube or somewhere else, like unsupervised, this clustering and all. Okay. This is advanced one, reinforcement learning. So let's deal with regression. The regression classification is like a category wise. Okay. Cats versus dogs. Heart disease versus not heart disease. Regression, that which changes with respect to time or with another variable called regression, like weather changes with respect to time, stock market, population, okay, this and that, salary. So just do one thing. Okay, let me open my salary prediction notebook so that I can give you a data set. Very simple project, but it's enough to make you understand. अरे भगवान इतना सारा किया. No, this one is complex one. Is it this regression? No. Which one? Salaries. Regression, linear regression project. I'm not able to remember right now. Let me go directly in my YouTube channel where I have uploaded YouTube. So this is where I uploaded. Okay, see, just do one thing as I've taught you. Okay, so to learn more, I'm giving you my YouTube channel link. Okay, please right now do subscribe. Okay, because see, I just uploaded 2 days ago COVID-19 data science project, time series project, and this mass detection one. Okay, so my agenda was to promote my YouTube channel by doing these free webinars. And here you will find the salary prediction video also. Here you will find the code and the data set. So I'm pasting the link here. Please go and first of all just subscribe and hit the bell icon. Just do one thing for me as I've taught you. So just do one thing for me, just because here you will find this project, this salary prediction. Okay, so that this is the project we need to perform. Just first of all do subscribe and hit the bell icon, and then go to the second last video, salary prediction. Okay, salary prediction. Or let me give you, everyone subscribed. Let me directly give the GitHub link. Everyone subscribed and hit the bell icon. Now everyone did, because as I have given you something, just subscribe and hit the bell icon. Yeah, everyone did. Please, more yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now thank you. Okay, I've given this GitHub link directly. So just go to this and you will find this salary data. You can just download this code. You can directly download this code. Okay. Open the salary data. Not open, just directly download. Okay. Download and store this in any folder. Where is my salary prediction here? I think even I need to download. Where is my salary prediction? Even I don't know. Okay, let me download also. It's me PyDeveloper Ashish, and simple linear regression using LRDR. I don't know where I have stored this, so I need to download it by myself. And Python 37 project. So I'm storing in my simple linear. Okay, LR and DT. Okay, we're gonna apply decision tree regression also. Okay, so you will get the salary data. Everyone downloaded. Then open the salary data .excel. I think it's Excel, CSV, whatever. Let me know when you open. Let me know when you open. Like this salary data. We don't need this train. Okay. Done. Yeah, everyone right. Like just download and open the salary data. Most simplest regression project you ever gonna deal with. Because see how the time is changing, the salary gonna also change. Okay. We have only 31 rows, very small data set. 31 rows only. Everyone done? Ready to do project?
One minute, sir.
Okay, okay.
Done, sir.
Okay, now. So now I'm moving ahead. I hope everyone done. Okay. So now again, how you need to import? Using pandas. Okay, so you have already imported pandas. Okay, so now just do right again, data set or data frame or df or d data set is equals to pd dot read, I think it's a csv file, csv. Okay, and the file path you need to give. So where is this? Okay, in this my folder, I'm just gonna copy paste in the inverted commas again, underscore or what is slash, sorry, and the file name. In the folder I have salary data, so capital S salary underscore data dot csv. Python takes everything in the forward slash, so you don't want to do forward slash like every time here. Just put r before this inverted comma and Python will automatically reverse it. Okay, so data set, and now data set here. Oh, here you go. Here you have data set. Only almost 30 rows. Okay, it is here 31 rows because it is starting from 1 and with the column name. From 2 it is starting with the actual data, and here column name is above and it is starting from 0. That's why the difference of 2. Okay, imported everyone the data set.
Yes, sir.
So now for what we do, exploratory data analysis, simple. EDA we did in classification. So wait, first of all, this is classification. Classification project. Okay, this is classification and then this is regression. Okay, EDA. Explore. Let's explore the data. First of all, let's visualize the data. Now, like in exploratory data analysis, we do visualization also. So from matplotlib, let's do plotting. Okay, plotting line plot. Okay, we need from data set we need what? We need years of experience, and in the y-axis it's gonna be salary. So in the x-axis it's gonna be years of experience, and in the from data set it's gonna be salary. See how it is growing. If you have like 1 year of experience, you might get 40,000. Then how it is increasing like this. Okay, so it's increasing now. It's a linear thing. Okay, see how it's increasing. Okay, 10 years of experience, you might get around 1,20,000. See, it's increasing. Okay, so you might get around this. If you have 5 years of experience, 3 to 4 years of experience, you might get around 7,000 to 5 or 6,000. Okay, so this is the data set according to data set. The data set. Okay, data set dot shape. Shape of data just 30 rows and 2 columns. Okay, R cross C, it always like this. Data set dot size means R into C, 60 means rows, and column is written after it, so rows into columns, total 60. Okay, 30 into 2. There is not much. Is there any null value? Like it's just 30 rows, we can manually check, but let's check now. df.info first of all. Oh, it's not data set dot info. Years of experience, 30 rows non-null. Salary, 30 rows non-null. Okay, both are plot. We can check null values is null dot sum 0 0. If you don't apply sum, it will be like false 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 false. You just do this sum, then 0 0. Okay, so no null value, data is very ready to use, directly ready to use. Do we need to scale down this data? No. No, why? Because see, we have just one target variable which we never scale down. Did we scale down ytrain and ytest? No, we just scale down xtrain and xtest. Okay, and in xtrain xtest we just have only one column, and it's linear, right? It's linear. We just have only one column. If we have more than one column, then you can think of scaling down it. But we do have only one column. We don't have to. Okay, it's a common sense. Like we have only one independent column. We don't have to. Okay, so salary, of course, it's a target variable. It's a dependent one. We never do in the dependent one. Okay, did we apply the standard scalar in ytrain and ytest? No, we just did in xtrain and xtest, but we have only one column, so we are not going to do this. So done, Pratibha. Now you did it. What happened? What happened, Pratibha? Like you written done and now no. Okay, it was. Where you have stuck, let me know. Where should I go? Miss Pratibha. You can unmute yourself, okay? Well, so now we did little bit of extroverted data analysis because data set is very small, okay? So now let's directly do we need to do splitting of data? Like data set is already very small, okay? So if we apply splitting of like xtrain and ytrain, data set is really small, just 30 rows, okay? So it's like, should we do? But yeah, we have to do, you know, like many times it's such a thing, like, you know, like of course how you gonna test it now? You can train it, but how you gonna test it? So is the matter is that, yeah, simple, it's simple. The matter is that how you gonna test it if you don't do this. So I have splitted earlier. Okay, so let's do this. Splitting of data is any doubt? No. Okay. Splitting of data, okay, into training and testing, because we have to do, otherwise how you gonna test it? So there you go. So xtray, for how to do it? From sklearn.model selection, you're gonna import train and test split. Okay, this is the code. So X train, I will wait, okay, don't worry. X train, X test, Y train, and Y test is equals to train test split. So means now, oh, one more thing, we have not defined X and Y, right? So of course, one more thing, again forgot that this is our data set, this is our data set. Okay, so this is X, right? This is X, this is Y. So let's directly define X is equals to the data set, the years of experience. Okay, you can directly do, and Y is equals to the data set, and based on this X and Y, you're gonna divide it in X train, Y train, X test, Y test. Okay, now here you go. If you call X, you have this, and if you call Y, you have this salaries. Okay, now based on this, you're gonna divide into X train, Y train, X test, Y test. Okay, so X and Y in the train test split, you need to write. What else you can write? Test size. How much test size you want to give, right? Like you have already less data, 30 rows only. So let's give it 0.30, means 0.33. Almost 10 rows you are giving. That 33% means almost 1/3 of the data you are giving. Means that 10 rows you are giving, and 20 rows you will just take it for the training. Okay, and for testing you will do this. Random state, give it like me. State is equals to, let's say, 101. You can give any integer, you can give any integer here, like this also. Okay, so now this X and Y will get divided into, the 20 rows will be given to X train with the Y, means its labels, and that those 0.33% means the 10 rows will be given to X train with its labels. Okay, if you run this, you will find this X train, the 20 random divided rows, this 20 rows with its wait, oh sorry, wait, I did something wrong. Did oh, okay, it's just an integer. Sorry, I was afraid. Okay, this is just a index number. Okay, I was afraid. So this is the years of experience. Okay, and what are its labels? Y train. This is the labels. Okay, so see the 10th index, which is having years of experience 3.9, is having salary this 63,218. Okay, similarly the rest 10 rows, X test, see, okay, only 10 rows because we have only very less amount of data with its labels. Y test, so see the 28th index, 6.8 years of experience, is having only this much salary. So now we have divided into X train, X test, Y train, Y test. Now let's predict. Simple. From sklearn. Everything clear till here? Just let me know. Is everyone clear? This again simple thing we did. We imported the data. We did exploratory data analysis. We splitted the data. And then we had to do one more thing. Standard scalar normalization basically. But this is a very, it has only one column, so we skipped that. Is everyone clear till here? The basic steps, the data science steps, as I told you. Okay, we are doing same thing. The data science you will find like this. Data preparing. Okay, we took the very simple data, so we have nothing. We just have this normalization step, and we skipped this one also. Okay, see, we skipped this one also in the regression project. Okay, we skipped everything apart from normalization in the classification project, because in heart disease we have many columns, so we did normalization, but we just have only one column in regression, so we skipped this. We just did visualization and all to understand the data only, how linear it is, how it is increasing. Now we are going to do model training. We optimize the data in the KNN, right? Only one parameter we did, and then we gonna evaluate the model. If it's good, if it's not good, then again we're gonna prepare the data, but it's gonna be good because, of course. Yeah, one more thing. If it's not good, then we need to increase the amount of data because data set is so small. Like 20 rows is nothing, right? So there could be one factor. So that is what data manipulation, or more data it needs. And then if is everything good, if everything is good, then you can deploy the model into website. Like if anybody enters the information in the website, like my client or my employee is having 3 years of experience, then the website will give the output that your employee needs to get 50,000 or 50,000 salary, 40,000 salary. Okay. So we get the data and then we prepare now data training from sklearn dot. Okay, clear. From sklearn dot linear model. Okay, import linear regression this time. Okay, so LR is equals to, I am storing here in the LR. Logistic regression we also stored in LR, right? It's all right. It's all right. You can give any name. Okay, that was a different project, by the way. So LR dot fit xtrain with its labels. 2D array, what 1D array? Things it. Okay. I was not getting this kind of thing. It was array. I think we did we did wrong in the splitting. That's why this problem is occurring, because I just did like x is equals to years of experience. So this index numbers we should not like. I don't think we should even get this index number. Let me check in the classification project. It's a simple thing which even I forget. No. Like in Next and STD, we don't have this. But in Extern we had this index number. Then what's the problem? Yeah, it was in the data frame format. Yes, in this entry when we did, it was having index number, the Xtrain and the Xtest also, but it was in the data frame format. It is not in the data frame format. So that's why. Just do one thing here. Okay. Dataset.ilock from rows we need. Give me 1 minute, no? Even I'm checking what's the problem. Let me give it chat. Okay. Values. Values. Dot values. Okay, guys, just do one thing. Okay, just write values here. Dot values. Okay, it's like some simple step we have to do. Like just write values here. Okay, like in the data set years of experience. Why I'll tell you. Like it was not in this array form. Okay, now you will dot values, just dot values, add here and here also. Now you will ask me, like you might ask me, why we didn't what's the message? Okay, why? Like see, it's in that, like while training the decision tree, xtrain and xtrace, while in the prediction also we had this index number. Okay, but it was in the data frame format. Okay, so that's why it doesn't matter here. But when we call, like after some experience only you will get, okay, so just don't get confused, go with the flow. Okay, when we called this directly, okay, like from data set we want a years of experience, so it came like this, not in data frame format. We can convert this into data frame format, okay, but let's just not do that. Just values, and there you go, in the array form. Okay, just the values, not index number. Now it's okay. Now again run this cell. So again run these cells. Okay, x train, y train, that's all. Now I will get this. Now let's do prediction. No question, I hope. Okay, now let's do prediction. Now what's the problem? How is it impossible? 1D array. Oh, I'm getting 1D array. Let me tell you one not use case basically. Equals to numpy dot array. Give me 1 minute, guys. So give me 1 minute, okay? I'm importing one more library. Import numpy as np. Just give me 1 minute. Array x. Okay, now it's better. See. Let me tell you one frequent. First of all, let me run it. Otherwise, I don't want to get error. Array. Why? Don't try it right now. Oops. Again. Why in this I'm not getting any problem? दिक्कत है. Give me 1 minute, okay? Otherwise, I'll do with my previous method. But this one is little confusing, so that's why I'm skipping this. I wanna keep it little simple. What's the problem here? Two D array here also. Oh, okay. It's in the 2D array, but it's not under one single array. Okay, I got the problem. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy paste. Just do one thing, okay? Like this method is not working, means it's not accepting this kind of values. Okay, in this C, it's in this 2D array, 2-dimensional, but it's not in this right format. Just write this code, okay? Just write this code. X is equals to and this y is equals to dataset.iloc. iloc means the rows, like we can switch from the rows. Okay, we can grab anything from the rows. We know it full rows and we need only the last column. That's why -1, the last. Okay. Similarly, in the y, we need full rows. Sorry, we need the first column up to last, means before last column. And here also in the y, we need full rows of the last column only. That's why -1. -1 means the last one. Okay. And we need the values only. So that's why here you go. And now it's okay. Like, see, everyone is in the array, only array. Okay. So now we need full rows of the first column. And after this is a basic Python. Okay. This is a basic Python. And after up to the -1 means before last one, we need for the x means the salary, sorry, means the years of experience. And the y, we need the full rows, and for the columns we just need the -1, that is the salary one. So this is for the years of experience and this is for the salary. Now if I run this, okay. Now after splitting into training and testing, now training has been done. It was little confusing, but all right. Everyone wrote this out? Everyone understood this 2 lines of code? These 2? Just let me know.
Sir, may you repeat once again?
Okay.
iloc.
Okay. See, iloc is now, it's like a index function. Like, sorry, it's like grabbing from the index. Okay. So it's like we want full rows of this data set. What is the data set? Okay. Data set. Okay. This is data set, full rows. So we want full rows of, in the x we want years of experience, and the y we want salary. Okay. So first one is for the rows, right? R into C. So first one is for the rows. We want full rows. That's why this semicolon. We are not writing anything here. Okay. So we want full rows. And for the columns, the first one we want, okay. So from starting, the starting one up to -1, means before -1. What is -1? This salary. -1 means the last one. What is the last column? Salary. So we want from the starting before the last one. So there is only one column. So years of experience. Okay. For the x it happens. And for the y, we want full salary, full rows. And we just want the -1, the last one. What is the last one? Salary. Salary column. Okay. Now you're cleared?
Yes, sir.
Still having doubt, then ask me, please. You still having any doubt? Or anyone else? Then please ask me. Is everyone clear? Can you send us link of project? Okay, I will send. You will find this in my YouTube channel. Because my YouTube channel is all about projects. Learn the basics of everything, like from here and here. Make projects in my channel. Okay. So we done the training. Okay. Just run and just do the training and let's predict. lr.predict into test data, x test. See, what is the test data? This one. So according to the test data, 6.8 years of experience, and it has predicted 91,477 salary in rupees or in dollars. Like currency is not given, but right. For the 8.7, almost 1 lakh. Okay. And what our actual data is saying, in our actual data, the person having 6.8 years of experience is getting 91,738, and we did on the training and for testing almost touched. It is very good. It is super good. Almost touched. See, after point it is not written, but almost touched. Right? For 8.7, 1,94,000, 1,98,093, then the decimal points. almost touched. It's like super. Okay, 3.2, 54,000, 56,000, almost like it's super. It's super. So now let's compare. How to compare LR dot score. Hmm, Okay, this is the linear regression point. This code I'm gonna copy paste right now. This, and then I'm gonna explain you. Okay, just copy paste this. The code I've given in the chat box. Y train, just do capital Y, and okay, do this and I will explain you then. Eight, the size 8 I need, I think. See, I am calling the matplotlib scatter, okay, giving X train and Y train, and the color blue means this is the actual point. This is the actual data, X train and Y train. In that, this is a training thing, okay. This is the training phase I am plotting. For the testing, this is the thing, okay. For the testing, I'm serious. For the testing, I have sent you in the chat box, okay. Just see for the testing itself, and you can just do here. White test. Oops. Okay. So see, I don't have much time right now. Like it's almost only 20 minutes left, so that's why I just copy pasting. So see, X train, Y train. So a color blue. So this color blue I've given. This is the actual point. And to plot, what to plot? X train and the predicted one, LR.predict on the X train, and the red color. See. So after that, title give salary versus experience. X label give years of experience, because in the X it is years of experience, and in the Y it is salary. So this is just like PLT dot title, X label, Y label, and save figure. I'm just saving this figure in my the Python 37 folders, years of experience. So you will find this. You can even save this figure, years of experience. See this, okay. You can put it in your PowerPoint presentation. So plt.show, of course, to remove that line. So see, the blue line is having actual one and the predicted one, red. This is in the training one, okay. This is in the training, whatever it has understood in the training. And see the fine line. The data points is like this, and the fine line. See the best fitted line. Best fitted line. What happens in linear regression? What happens in linear regression? Linear regression. Sorry, I didn't told you this. Okay. What happens in linear regression? This is the actual data. Okay, the actual data, blue lines, and you know it understand the patterns. It understand the patterns, and it plots the best fit line. First, for some time it will plot like this. For some time it will plot like this, plot like this, plot like this. Then after only learning, it will plot the best fit line. Means it will it has understood the data so well that it has fitted the best fit line. Okay, so the closer the data points, these blue lines with this red line, the better it is. Okay, see, not this, see like this. Okay, this is the actual data, black dot. The blue line is the predicted one, regression line. Okay, means the how best it has fitted, and how far this actual data is, how far this black dot is. It is the error thing, error line, sorry, error term. Okay, this is the errors. These data points, black line, black dots, needs to be very short in distance with regression line. Then only we can say that our model has understood the patterns very well. Okay, see, this is not much good, you can say, because data points are very far. Okay, see, like this is very good. Okay, so that's how regression works. Is this good regression? No, because see, data points are very far. Okay, so this line should be here, something here. From 4, it should be start from here till here, like this. In between every data points. Okay, so it is not best fitted line right now. So okay, it is wrong intercept. So you can learn more about it. Like, you know, there is a formula for everything. That's all. So now for the training, it has understood the patterns very well, and same for the testing. When we tested it, just run this line, capital Y, okay, Y test, and see the actual data point with the best fitted line. And the data points are very close, very minimum error. Okay. So according to this, you can say that you have very best fit line. Matrices, matrix, of course, matrix, you need matrix. Okay. So from sklearn.matrix, you're gonna import what you're gonna import. Okay. See, for classification, metrics are different. Accuracy score, precision score, R1, F1. Okay. But for regression, you have something called R square. You have something called, see, you have many thing. You have mean squared error. Okay, you can always Google it. The best or the matrices of regression. So we're gonna use mean squared error, root mean squared error. We're gonna use root mean squared error, and we're gonna use R2 square. Okay, so there is a term called mean square error. Okay, like this is your assignment kind of thing to understand about what is mean squared and what is. I'm just gonna explain, okay, for some time. So, and how to perform root mean square error, I'll tell you. Okay, so RMSE root mean square error is to numpy np dot sqrt. If you have not imported numpy, just do and import numpy as np. Okay, any question? No. Root mean square error, and just give what? Just give this mean square error. Okay, so it's like you are giving this mean square error into this sqrt, so it's gonna be root mean square error. Okay, and y test and y pred, of course, you need to give y test and then y pred. Oh, am I even done? Yeah, I need to do this now. Y pred lr. Now do is equals to, okay, and y pred lr. So here you go. Y pred lr. What I did, this one, okay, I stored this lr dot predict one, okay, in the y pred lr. So, and now we are going to compare with the actual data. I mean, we have already compared, but see, what is RMSE value? 4363. Now, can we say that is this a good thing? Is this a good value? It depends on the context. Yesterday we discussed now, like is 90% accuracy good? Depends on the context. In self-driving car, 90% score is very bad. If you're 90% sure the human is in front of you, it's totally garbage. Similarly, this RMSE, root mean square error, okay? If you just perform mean square error, no? If you just perform mean square error, see, that's why I never use mean square error. Okay, you can always, you just search in YouTube what is this mean square error, root mean square error, it is your assignment. I never do this because it's not making much sense to me. Like the huge number, because it is squaring the numbers.
errors. This square root will of course do square root of this all. Okay, so now this is giving me good number. Okay, so RMAC on an average is 4363. Now is this good? Yes. Why? Because our data set is having salary like 66,000, 91,000, 1 lakh. So having a difference of 4,000 in the prediction, like if it if in the actual data set, if it is saying that the person having 5 years of experience should get 1 lakh rupees, and your prediction is saying that that person should get 96,000 salary, so only about 4,000 difference. So it's not bad, because nobody gonna leave the job for 4,000 rupees if that person is giving 96,000 rupees, if that person is getting 96,000 rupees, right? But if this value you get in the chocolates, like if the chocolate price is 10 and your prediction model says that chocolate price should be 4,000, then it's super bad, right? So it depends on the context, and in this context, this root mean square error is saying that 4,363 is the difference on an average, and it is very good. Okay, is everyone understood? Let me know. Is everyone understood? Let me know now. Understood? Yeah. This root means, please everyone write understood or not. I'll explain you again. Yes, sir. Okay. Write everyone, or unmute yourself. Sir, okay. Just 3 years I got. Anyone else? Write it down, please. There are other very matrices. There are other matrices for this, please write it down if you understood or not. Only 3 years I got. Okay. Is everyone understood? Because this was the last project, this was last algorithm. Any doubt? Because we have almost completed our workshop. Any doubt? Because I got only 3 years, that's why I'm asking. Okay. Thank you for this favor. Whew. So that's how you can just do, using, that's how you can do machine learning algorithms. You can perform machine learning projects using sklearn. This was the head start training. Okay, head start means giving you rough idea of, like, I don't need to write, by the way, giving you rough idea like how the data science journey happens, how data science projects we do. Okay, and this is how we do, like, every project. Okay, we do many things basically. So I hope that like in linear regression we just do, like, if the data is very linear, we perform like this, and then we compare, we find the best fitted line, and then it depends on the context like of RMSE. So I hope I gave you some head start, like, you know, you can now jump to you got very much clarification of like how things work, how this all you can make, and now you can start making projects like after learning more theory and all. Now I hope I have cleared many confusions, or I hope I've given some path. So how was the session? Just let me know. How was the session? These 3 days we have completed. How was the session? Let me know, guys, how was the session, so that yeah, thank you. And okay, guys, so thank you very much. Okay, amazing, got so much info, thank you. Okay, so I hope so. If any doubt comes, you can always DM me. Okay, you just follow me Instagram, or you can WhatsApp me every time. Okay, you have my number. Thank you everyone, take care.
Thank you so much, Ashish, for this amazing session.
All right, bro, thank you.